Hello everyone, it's Wednesday on Your View. Welcome to the show. I am Obiajulu Olabisi Ubu, and with me are the ladies.
Good morning.
We missed you yesterday, but you're here
I
today.
didn't miss you guys.
How you do? You were resting, Abby?
I rested. I didn't do nothing. I started cooking late. I worked sharp.
Okay.
I had some work I carried home. So I have a new brief I'm working on.
Okay.
We're grateful to God. I'm on a grateful journey.
It's good.
Grateful journey. What people call it gratitude.
Gratitude, yeah.
But I do it every day. But now I'm deliberately just, counting down to it. I didn't sleep throughout the night.
Wow.
Just doing Alhamdulillah all through the night till daybreak for life, so that I'm not grieving continuously. I'm grateful. I'm looking at things in retrospect and saying it could have been worse, it's better. I'm grateful. And I'm there now. There's so many things you count your blessings and that you don't consider a blessing, they actually are.
Yeah.
When you focus on them in retrospect. So I'm doing that. I'm in that phase.
And more blessings will come when you actually, because it's the energy you're giving. When when a father does something for you and you say thank you, the father is motivated to do more. So as you're giving the Almighty Allah your thanksgiving, it's okay. I like that look.
For that in Islam is the reverse.
Oh.
So for us to get more blessings, you're supposed to be in total repentance. So it's more seeking forgiveness.
Oh.
You do that. I'm taking a class.
Okay.
Usually I'm taking a class on grief.
Okay.
It's not been easy. I thought it would be. When you're advising, but when you take your own advice, it's a lot of work.
Yeah.
So at the point in my class, I got to the point where I needed to go back and look at things in retrospect. So that's where I'm at.
Well done. How are you doing, Miriam?
Fine.
What's happening?
I know one thing about grief is people sort of expect there's a timeline. Sometimes it can take the whole of your lifetime, One day, many years after it happens, you're standing somewhere and then it hits you again. So, but we've been taught that, understand that it's also a part of life, and
Yes.
It's a process
time
we all
it gets
go
easier,
through.
they say. Yeah, I'm fine. I'm doing okay. Nothing much happening except that I just want to thank God that I have a group of sisters that I can lean on. I'm looking towards the launch of my book in December, and I've begun, talks with everyone here. I was waiting for you to come today so we can, just find out where each and every one of you can help, towards the launch. So I'm really excited about that, and I'm happy because I have you people to lean on to help, support me. So thank you.
Because we are acting sisters now, we're not giving you bill. They also say I like money. My kids are about to start their midterm, so they're going to be having open day for Thursday and Friday, and I don't know how to divide myself because they are in 2 different campuses. So I was thinking Oga will do one, I do one, so that I will take one day and rest, since I'm going to have a long weekend this week. But he's saying, you're not going to work now. You have to do the 2. I'm like, why are men like this?
Don't open your schedule. That's the thing. Once you open your schedule, if they ask me, how is your week like, I'll let you know. Because once my schedule is open, my husband takes it over. He takes it over immediately. But I don't open my schedule.
So I'm not going to rest again now.
Really?
But anyway, I won't wake up so early. So I'm looking forward to it. I was happy with their last results.
Okay.
It was really good. Like, it was A's, A star. And I was impressed because I was a bit worried that, that COVID really disrupted a lot of things. You chase my son. I'm still chasing him though, but when the results came, I'm like, okay, you're paying attention.
So the guy is working and playing.
At the same time.
That's a strategy I used though, as a child.
Yeah. You were playing, baby.
Climbing trees, I'm plucking oranges.
Tree climbing.
I play.
I hear you are today, so there's hope.
Yeah, there's hope. If you can turn out like this, my son has hope. Let's take a short break. When we come back, we take the newspaper reviews. Stay with us.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. Let's start with the nation. How we are attracting investors by Buhari. Governors to boost Amotekun will draw investment. People's welfare priority. 3.35 trillion spent on agric imports in 4 years. Conflicting court orders. NBA raises probe panel. Petrol subsidy stays till June 2022, says Minister. 714 billion paid in 7 months. Convention anxiety in PDP over tomorrow's ruling in Secondus suit. Deduction row with federal government. Governors reject allocation. Payment to Paris Club loan consultant sparks dispute. Akande rallies Osun APC leaders for Oyetola. Family of 3 lynched. Who has what in the nation?
Okay, I have the major headline.
Go ahead, please.
So the Governors Forum are contesting the removal from source of the $416 million meant to be paid to consultants for the Paris Club refund. I don't know by tongue.
Look at it.
So the chairperson of the Governors Forum, of course, again speaking on their behalf, is Governor Kayode Fayemi of Ekiti State. He's saying that, you know, if they are rejecting the allocation for the month of September because they have not clearly discussed and agreed on how this will be done. They don't want it to be done, but the amalgamation of the consultants got a court order, and they got an order of mandamus compelling the federal government to deduct from source and pay them that money. While they were in court during their first instance, that's the Federal High Court, the Governors Forum did not gather to go and defend or contest what they were doing. And according to a source in the nation, they got these consultants to assist in collecting the Paris Club refunds originally. And they, individual states, without them being a union as the Governors Forum at the time, were the ones who agreed with each consultant to pay these monies. Now, when the consultants saw that, you know, after they got the monies from the federal government, they didn't pay them, they went to court. Then the Governors Forum now got that on appeal as the Governors Forum to contest this. So the consultants also made a union of themselves into an amalgamation,
and then
they continued in court till where we are now. So they have a promissory note that the Federal Governors Forum are insisting that the Minister for Finance shouldn't have given to the consultants, but they either keep their promissory notes to mature in 10 years, or they go to the banks and turn it to cash and deduct the money. We're talking about
billions,
416 or so million naira.
Wow.
Dollars, sorry.
Dollars, wow.
That we're talking about here. It's not a small amount of money, and it's enough to give any Nigerian headache.
Okay.
Yes.
Miriam, please.
So yesterday there was a virtual summit on Oyo agri-business, and Tony Elumelu was there as well. And while he was talking, he said that between 2016 and 2019, Nigeria's cumulative agricultural imports were 4 times higher than its agricultural exports. So we have spent 3.35 trillion in 4 years, and our export has been about 803 billion, you know, in that time. That shows you how much that we spend on imported agricultural products. And he's saying that this particular event that they were at was trying to see how they can position Oyo State to fill that gap. Where that he sort of compared it to Silicon Valley in America, and says that Oyo State could be that in the agricultural sector for Nigeria and for Africa, where we're making those products and meeting demands of not just Nigeria, but the whole of Africa.
Wow.
And, you know, he says that agriculture is an important sector to invest in. He says it's one of the highest employer of labor in Nigeria and highest employer of women. And, you know, he made a point where he said, investment in agriculture is a direct investment in poverty eradication and job creation. So if we're doing that, if we're putting a lot of resources and investment towards agriculture,
we'll get returns.
A lot of returns. It's not just in our GDP. It would, you know, affect homes. It will affect women. It will affect our youth and
people
empowerment.
will be gainfully employed.
Yes, and we know that Tony Elumelu has a lot of empowerment programs.
Yes,
he says already many people from Oyo State in the 7 years have benefited from that program. And so it looks like, I mean, this conversation looks like it's going to lead to something very important and impactful for our country and Africa.
Yeah, that's fantastic. So a mob in Kaduna lynched a man along with his wife and daughter for allegedly collaborating with bandits. So I was the Commissioner for Internal Security and Home Affairs, Samuel Aruwan, who confirmed the incident statement yesterday, and he cited a security report. So they said they were killed on Monday in Aya area of Igabi Council, and after they were, set ablaze, their house was, looted, and then the house was set ablaze as well. And so he is appealing, as well as the governor of Kaduna, yes, El-Rufai, was saying that people should not take laws into their own hands. When you suspect that somebody is collaborating, you should report it to the appropriate authorities and allow things take its natural course than resorting to self-help and killing people.
I will never support a mob action.
Wow.
Just need to witness one.
Yeah, true. Let's move on to the Punch. NNPC. Marketers inflated imported petrol figures under Buhari, Jonathan Sanusi. Pencom to prosecute errant employers, recovers 19.29 billion pensions. 22 governors apply as federal government begins model ranch funds disbursement next week. eNaira app hits 100,000 downloads in 24 hours amid complaints. Federal government lists Desianis buildings, jewelry, bras for sale. Values Bade's mansions. Shocked.
I don't understand.
Bras. Suspects, wedding gowns, invisible bras, 64 pairs of shoes for sale. 1,620 items, including cars, houses, phones, laptops, vessels listed. Osun pleads for understanding as protesting retirees shut state secretariat. Police diffuse bomb found at attacked Oyo prison. Aregbesola shuns Akande's meeting with APC Elders Caucus. Merciless beating. Kwara to regulate Arabic schools' activities. Buhari's exit in 2023, solution to Nigeria's problems, Afenifere. Ekiti headsman bags life imprisonment for grazing on cassava farm, shooting owner. PDP hints of neck meeting if a court stops convention. What do we have here?
So, gladly for consequence, because we're almost becoming a country without consequence. This man, a 32-year-old header, Muhammadu Abubakar, has been sentenced to life imprisonment for the attempted murder of a farmer, Chief Samuel Ama, and all the people that tried to defend him in a community called in Omu community in Oye local government area of Ekiti State. So this farmer had been on his farm, a cassava farm, and Abubakar led his cows to that farm. And while people and the owner of the farm attempted to stop him from entering the farm to graze with his animals, he brought out a weapon and shot at them. Fortunately, nobody was affected by any bullet, but he shot at that crowd.
Yes.
Wow.
And so they were able to overpower him. They handed him over, which is the right thing to do, to the police. He was arraigned, prosecuted, and has been sentenced to life imprisonment for the attempted murder, as well as 10 years imprisonment for being in possession of firearms.
That is justice.
That is justice and consequence.
Justice.
So the farmer can rest and trust in the system before all of us go mad to help ourselves.
Honestly.
Let's please restore the institutions.
Yeah.
Okay,
go ahead.
So we know the Pension Reform Act of 2014, has mandated all employers to, with at least 3 employees, to have pensions for their workers. But Pencom is saying that recently it has recovered over 19 billion naira monthly pensions that were deducted by employers from their employees' monthly contributions, and yet were not remitted to their retirement savings account or to their PFAs. And right now, they say they have about 19 of these defaulting employers that have been recommended for legal action. This is important. Every time we talk about retirees standing on the road or blocking government establishment, carrying placards, and this Reform Act was supposed to help, and yet we have some people who are deciding not to do what is needed for people that have served their country and served the company for many years. So I'm happy that Pencom is fighting for, for these funds and making sure that they are brought to book. Apart from the monies that they are recovered, there are also penalties for these companies that have not, that they are also asking for. So well done, Pencom.
So,
all right.
Okay.
The newspaper reviews continue after this break. Stay with us.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Welcome back. So I wanted to take a story here. The Osun State Secretariat, Abere in Osogbo, the state capital, was shut for a few hours yesterday because some retirees, they said they left service for a while now and they have not been paid their contributory pension scheme. So they wielded placards with different inscriptions, marched through the major gates, but then some men of the Joint Task Force were deployed to man the gate, so they were not able to enter, but they were there singing and lamenting that the state is owing them over 50 billion in unpaid retirement benefits. So according to them, they said they are fighting over their accrued rights, that is entitlement up to April 2010, before the commencement of the contributory pension scheme. And they expected that the state would have put those funds together and given it to CBN so that they are paid. The law stipulates that they should be paid 3 months after their retirement, but for 5 years now, they have not been paid. However, the State's Commissioner for Information and Civic Orientation, Funke Egbemode, came out and appealed to the pensioners to exercise patience, that the government is doing everything to review their demands. And he also she went further to say that to show commitment that they had devised a strategy which ensured that they were paying back the contributory pension scheme, and people whose entitlements are from 100,000 to 500,000 were paid up to December 2020. They had done that. They were also taking on those who were supposed to be paid 500,000 to 1 million, 1 million to 1.5, and 1.5 million to 2 million, and they are not relenting. So in the last 2 months, they have paid over 300 contributory pensioners, and to the tune of 40, so from 2018, they have paid to the tune of 40 billion. So they should be patient. The people who they've not been paid, they will get their payments, It's just...
So part of the
I hope
already forfeited properties of former Minister for Petroleum, not only her, and that of the former Chief of Defense Staff, Defense Air Staff, Alex Bade. Those properties are now listed for sale. They include her, Alex Chief, what do you call it, late one? Alex Bade's properties in Maitama. Okay. And one of his other properties in Wuse, and Alison Madueke's property in Banana Island. This one is a big 18 flats, 6 penthouses building located within Banana Islands, and the address is in the papers. Also, items within the property that were already forfeited include 125 pieces of wedding gowns, 13 pieces of small gowns, 41 pieces of waist trainers, a shop, 73 pieces of hard flour, 11 pieces of suits, 11 pieces of invisible bra, 73 pieces of veils, 30 pieces of braziers, 2 pieces of standing fans, 17 pieces of magic skits, 6 packets of blankets, 1 table blanket, and 64 pairs. So they add values according to the Senate committee chair on this, the interministerial committee chairperson on the disposal of forfeited property. He said they had the valuers, and they're asking the valuers to do a thorough job in the evaluation and sales of these properties. But they don't know how much. Yes, but they have not gone into her jewelries yet. So the jewelries are still subject to litigation.
I wonder how it works. Would it be like an open auction? Can anybody just walk into this place?
We don't hear some of these things.
Buy those
No, they are telling you now. Follow the story.
Yes,
we need to keep following for when you buy auctions.
I would like to buy invisible bras.
Okay, I don't know what
that's value. I don't think you can afford it to
stay. Honestly, my sister, stay home.
Stay where we are.
Let's move on to the Daily Sun. Southwest governors meet over security situation in the region. Others. 2023 PDP wounds zone presidency. Saraki. Hints of defection of APC bigwigs to opposition party. Appeal court rules on secondary kits tomorrow. Will end casualization of workers, says the Labour Minister. Alleged terrorism. UN writes Nigeria, Kenya over Kano. Aviation stakeholders hail Uguayin for commitment to air safety. Nigeria's per capita income static in 40 years, says World Bank. Petrol subsidy to go June 2022, federal government. Red Cross puts cholera deaths in Nigeria at 3,208 in 10 months. Who has what story?
Yes, Nigeria's per capita income static in 40 years, says World Bank. And this is in continuation. I took a story yesterday where World Bank was talking about how much we were putting towards subsidy. And this is money that could have otherwise gone through to health sector and other basic infrastructure. In the same meeting, it was also revealed that our per capita income has been the same for 40 years. So what it was in 1981 is what it is now till today for 40 years. And, you know, they're saying that this is just like describing a stunted growth. So someone has been 40, you know, at this particular stage for a long time. And, you know, they're also reiterating that we need to do something right away. Nigeria has the potential to become, in their words, like a star athlete, but it needs the right interventions quickly and right now so that we can begin to see those things. The finance minister also made a few comments. She said that he was referring to the minister saying that the medium-term development plan, which has all the ingredients, it will take, but it will still take time for it to come to fruition, for us to start to see the impact. Results, yeah. But it's something that we need to do now. Consistent work has to be done. The economic policies that we introduce has to be something that, you know, would, she calls it a paradigm shift, is what she's saying. And so we need comprehensive and targeted reforms, you know, and reorientation of our national values and radical shift in the attitude towards taxation and public financial management. Is what she's saying that we also need to do to see this change that they are talking about.
Do you have a story?
So, thankfully, finally.
You said thankfully.
No, you know me, I'm against casualization. I've been talking about it.
Thankfully now.
It's thankfully now.
Go ahead.
Thankfully. So the bills before the National Assembly, looking at amendment now, 3 labor bills, the National Directorate of Employment Act 2004, Labor Act 2004, and the Prohibition of Casualization Bill 2021 are before the National Assembly. And the Minister for Labor is guaranteeing that he will see to the passing of these laws, these labor laws, so, especially that of the prohibition of casualization, because of the level of casualization presently in the labor sector, within labor. I'm impressed. I think this is overdue, especially that of the prohibition of casualization, but I want to hear the NLC put their entire weight behind this if they know, if they mean what they are doing.
True. Let's move on to the Nigerian Tribune. Special report, why foreign shipping companies drop empty containers in Nigeria. Anambra poll, IGP deploys 100 strategic commanders. Let's go back to the 1963 Constitution for Nigeria's progress. Who has what story here?
So the Anambra poll, the IGF police has deployed 100 strategic officers for the elections and is guaranteeing that, you know, they will use this to see to the seamless, uninterrupted and free and fair elections in Anambra State. Let me just leave it there.
Oh, that's just it.
Okay, so let me take this one. This is from Nigerian Ports Authority. It's a report on the containers. On containers, they say that come in with goods. Foreign shipping lines come in with these containers filled with goods, and then when they're leaving, they dump their empty containers here in Nigeria. NPA is saying that this has been going on for so long, and it revealed that 2008 to 2017, a total of over 425,000 containers have been dumped in Nigeria. And NPA is saying that it's because it is cheaper to actually just dump them than to put them back on their ships and taking it back. And so they are putting in measures in order to, you know, to curb this behavior. And one of the things that they're doing is that they give an example that if, let's say, a ship comes in with about 100 containers, it must go back with at least 80 of those containers. You know, 20 they can understand, but you cannot just bring in and just leave a whole
So they should be fine.
There's also a major... Thank you.
They should be fine.
They are not fine. It is cheaper. It is without consequence to dump.
Yeah, so those are the things that NPA is saying that they're going to put in place. But someone also, you know, he's he's a shipping agent, but did not want his name to be mentioned. He said, see, one of the reasons we have people dumping these containers, not because the shipping lines don't want to take the containers away, but we understand how chaotic the traffic situations, the port situations have been. So sometimes when these ships come in, the containers go to drop off the products, and they are waiting for the containers to come back, but they are stuck in traffic for many days, and there's a time limit, there's a fine for how long you stay at the port. And so some of them have to leave. So
they have to find a way.
So these are the things that may be causing it. It's not necessarily that because they find it's cheaper, but on our own part, so considering all the chaos in the port, that's what is causing that as well.
Yeah. So Afenifere is saying that's the Pan-Yoruba Sociocultural Group. He's saying that for true federalism to work, we need to revert to the 1963 Constitution, because that was a true federal constitution. And when it was deployed, it was working. You are bringing a lot of people together, and everybody had to find a way to work on their region. So, but when it was jettisoned, allow me to land this story now, sister. When it was jettisoned, we now started seeing the struggle that we're having. So the only way we can make a headway is to revert to true federalism. And they have, done some conferences, the Confab report, which has not been implemented till today. So government needs to look into that.
You don't want to take
Are we done?
No, we're done. Time has gone.
There's just one story very interesting. So the former Emir of Kano, talking at the Nigerian Economic Summit for 2021, talked about the high population and high level of poverty in the north. And he said that as Emir, he had put together a team, and they arrived at a code that they must regulate population growth. Yeah. They must regulate the arbitrariness of freedom of marrying 4 wives without means, and all of those other things. And that till today, this code exists. Every administration in the north know about it. He sent it to the representatives in the National Assembly. Nothing has been done.
Yeah. Thank you so much, ladies. That's all we can take on the newspaper reviews. When we come back, we take our hot topics. Stay with us.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. The Senate Committee on Local and Foreign Loans on Tuesday kicked against the proposal by the Federal Ministry of Health to borrow $200 million under the malaria program to buy mosquito nets in the 2022 budget. What are your thoughts on this? You can join the conversation and call us on 081-27053-687 or 091-390-76948. So according to the explanation, they said they wanted to use this particular borrowing to buy mosquito nets to sort out 13 vulnerable or orphan states.
I bet me explain what's orphan.
Sister, I was asking you the question.
No, you have to explain.
Orphan states, states that don't have mother and father. I don't know what that means. And this is going to be sorting out 208 local government areas, 3,536 primary health care under this local government. And people have been asking questions, but we had already budgeted 450 million in this same 2022 budget for malaria treatment. How come we need an additional $200 million to handle this same mosquito nets? Ladies, help me, please.
I'm quickly finding what orphan states mean.
All right, let me talk about
Go ahead,
Senate. So the Senate is doing the job of questioning this, and I like that. And, when they're doing something, a lot of times we start with conversation, where were they? Why didn't they ask since? So now they're asking. And the explanation is that the World Bank will give them this money, but the World Bank has also specified where they must get the mosquito nets from. Because Senate is like, why would we be importing mosquito nets when we know many places locally that we can get mosquito nets. But it says that that is one of the conditions for getting that money, where you can get the mosquito nets from. So it is also like yesterday where we were talking about when you get money from somewhere, they will also tell you how,
what to use it for,
and when, and, you know, to spend it. So it still goes back to the fact that we need to get out of this cap in hand, borrowing, and to think that we're still borrowing for mosquito nets today. I mean, we know, definitely, even I know a few local places that you can get mosquito nets
Good
from.
ones.
I did not even believe that we're still importing mosquito nets. In fact, the way that we have mosquitoes in Nigeria, we're meant to be the largest exporters of mosquito nets. People should be coming to buy mosquito nets from us as of right now. So definitely, this is a good query that they are doing, and I hope that we can maybe find a way to put that aside. And this is what we're talking about when we talk about putting money towards subsidy. And, you know, the World Bank is saying the money that you're putting towards subsidy, you would have put it to healthcare. You would have had a lot of money to set up local production of mosquito nets. Well, thankfully, also, recently we talked about the vaccine that is being created, that is being made, where the anti-malaria vaccine, I think government should quickly start seeing how we can align with that. Exactly. So that we're not 5 years down the line looking for money, borrowing for how to get malaria vaccines.
Nima Biko, what's your thoughts?
Okay, well, let me start with the World Bank. Because, you know, they know how to say A and say B. They call leaders bad. They don't question some of their policies, but they then compel certain policies. So there are several loans that the World Bank would give you. They are JED, because, you know, the World Bank has a structure towards different. So there's that for UNICEF, there's that for HIV and AIDS, there's that for all of that. So when these monies are given, third world loans, like, you know, that for mosquito nets, must be used to buy mosquito nets.
Yes.
But then, you know, they give these monies, and Nigeria government plan every year under the budget for international aid. They have a vacancy for that. That they will say, okay, because aid did not come for this and we don't have these monies, we can't do this. They've had that defense in the past. So the World Bank should now, in anything they want to give us, know where we are. Nobody is going to give anybody mosquito net, and nobody is going to use any mosquito net for anybody in Nigeria today. So please, that budget for third world countries and all of those kind of things, they should please just, they should be excusing our people from it. Yes.
Except it's free.
Except you want to give us mosquito nets for free. $200 million
that's what I'm saying.
Free.
You can give us mosquito nets.
It's a loan
for free.
That after you have used it to meet, it's to fight malaria. After you have used it to meet that need, you then pay it back.
Yes.
When you get your country out of it. But we know our people, our body don't ever accustomed to these things.
Malaria.
We are immune to it. So no, we're not. I'm just saying, our people have survived generations without this. The corruption that goes with this is not why we have survived malaria. The monies, this kind of monies, do not abate the condition that they come here for. They are not the solution to it at all.
Yes.
So please, the reality is that we don't need it. Because they will just chop these monies. If they do buy the nets, they will waste them at the warehouse. Later, somebody will break into the warehouse, hawk them in traffic. One or two of you who have suffered malaria in your family think you need a mosquito, you pay for it eventually. So we don't have a plan. We do not, based on our antecedents that we used to pay these monies back, we don't need it. We need roads, yes. We need, you know, to plan per capita, our population, and all of those things that they have said. We need a lot of other things, but certainly not $200 million for mosquito nets.
Were you able to find
now
the orphan states, Biko?
We know they. So I want to come to the Nigerians who negotiate these things.
Yes.
You know, the ministries of health will have a director who would say, there's this aid in the World Bank for this, let's get it. And they'll put it into budget. He read loan, he still puts it. But thankfully, we have our representatives who are doing an amazing work, the open eye, to read these things.
I'm glad.
Yes.
I'm glad.
That's found it. Yeah. So the person who is putting it inside, how realistic is it before you put it there? In every job that you are doing, your job is not just to find money that can be siphoned on paddy level. Your job is also to make practical plans to either create policies that will develop your people or get them out of hardship. True. Or Kukuma don't do it at all. Simple. So I question the director within that Ministry of Health who puts this thing inside. And if, assuming our National Assembly slept on it, you know, there are days that they yawn on and they do A and me. We for just chop this basic.
Yeah.
So it's just...
We may still chop the bases.
No. We will not.
Are you sure?
We will not. Because now that they are questioning it, the National Assembly has the powers to either reduce the budget, take it out, or, you know, find a way to amend it. And I think that the best thing for them is to take it out.
Yeah. So I feel there's a deliberate attempt to keep us in poverty with all of these policies of come and collect, and we are going cap in hand borrowing without asking questions. How do you think our leaders will begin to wake up to say, this one does not serve us? We're not taking this. We don't want this. Don't worry, we'll find a way.
So one thing with political appointments is that many people see it as a place to come and chop money. So they look for an avenue to, okay, I've been put here. And there's a saying, I'm telling you, it was only when I started living in Lagos that I heard it. Now, where you they work, you they shop. I will never forget my first job when someone came to give me some money for... They had given him a job. The company I was working for gave him a job, and they gave him money for it. And like he now went around and was dashing people money. Me, straight from Jos, I did not understand what was happening. I'm like, how does he even have... Before he had done the job, he's now dashing us money. And then I was like, no, thank you. I was like, sister, no. It's where you are working. You are shopping. You'll be chopping. Yeah, so he has not even done the job. I don't even know how that ended. But now I see that we have taken it to, you know, this level. So this is somewhat a group of people who feel that, okay, this is where we are. What can we chop from this? Because if you were thinking about the country, you would think this may not serve us. Or yes, we are still fighting malaria. That is something that is very much a serious issue in Nigeria. Many children, they say between ages of 1 to 5 die, you know, in large numbers in Nigeria from malaria. So yes, this is something that we're fighting. But we have to fight against malaria in a better way. We need to make sure that mosquito nets that we need, first of all, we need to sensitize people. I need to see that the health sector is talking about where they have put monies and put trainings for sensitization of people, production of mosquito nets locally, what we're doing, even producing it so much that we can export it. That is what I expect that we're hearing. I want that they are talking about this new vaccine that has come out and how much money the health sector is asking the federal government to put into it to see how we set up these companies within Nigeria or start to train our own people to bring, you know, develop our own vaccines. Those are the sort of conversations I hope that we have towards health, you know, our health, that will take us out of this constant story of Nigeria is backward when it comes to health sector, Nigeria is backward when it comes to education. We need to change the mindset of people. This morning when I was coming to work, I saw a particular person put up a post to say that they are closing their companies in Nigeria because they cannot work with Nigerians anymore. Their employees and contractors tend to find ways to sabotage the companies that they work for because they are constantly trying to see how they can make money off of you. That is a mindset. And he says, and this particular person says, if you are looking to invest in Nigeria, please talk to us so we can tell you some of these loopholes. That is not a good, that's not a good report of this country. And the truth is that we all know that people, when we work in Nigeria, we think this is a place that we must make money at the detriment of everyone.
Wow. Let's go on a break. When we come back, we'll take phone calls and messages. Stay with us.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Welcome back. We have a caller from Port Harcourt. Good morning, Mr. Richard.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. So for me, what I'm actually thinking when I saw the information at first is that there's no way you want to convince me that what you have there is actually money for election. 2023 is around the corner. See, let us just face it. Because what does orphan state mean? I mean, what does it even really mean? Who is the father and the mother of the state that died, that made them orphans? You know? So that is to tell you, see, there's a crisis, leadership crisis, and it is the failure of leadership that will make any ministry to just put up something like that. There's no plan for any mosquito net. Let's just not deceive ourselves. There's no plan. It is for election. And if you check, this is just the beginning. If you check other ministries, they should check it line by line. I can assure you, you will find very ridiculous items like this, and even worse than what we are seeing right now. So it's just for election. And you can check back at previous pre-election years. This is the kind of things you find in our budget. But I'm glad that they've been able to find this. So they should snoop more. They should bring out their binoculars and their searchlight. They will find more. Good morning.
Thank you so much, Richard. Nima.
So it's like, for me, if this is the World Bank again, isn't that there's a deliberate attempt to leave us in third world? If you can give us $100 million, why not give us to set up a world state-of-the-art recycling facility? Because the mosquitoes are not just breathing in our gutters. We don't have proper drainages.
Yes, we don't.
That needs an emergency intervention. You want flowing drainages, you want proper town planning so that you don't have where mosquitoes can breathe. That one, they won't place. Then we need to recycle. We have so much waste we can make power out of, a lot of things. But every state has to do this. They are looking for funds. Government, federal government wants to do this. They are looking for funds. You now want them to be coming to you for this fund. When you have already, why are you planning to buy mosquito nets to fight malaria in some states? When we know that the consultants that will collect this money will marry young wives. And then they will be doing that they are fighting mosquitoes. You know, that they will consult in intermediary. We are looking for $460 million now to settle consultants already. So, you know, we know this level of corruption. And then we have these international communities come out to call out our leaders for being corrupt. But then they create...
It seems like they are aiding them.
Thank you.
I don't agree.
So no, let me just finish on this. So if you're planning with us, you're looking, like, you know, you took a report of them saying that we could be a star athletes. Plan with us where you are.
Yes.
Don't plan with us to regress us.
Really support us.
If Nigeria is owing $200 million and I see the incinerator or something, a recycling plant somewhere, that I was, because we wanted to fight mosquito, we are recycling bottles now. We are doing this, we are using it for
that's
energy.
true progress.
Even me, I want to hold World Bank the 200 million because I've seen where it's gone. But I don't want to hold 200 million for mosquito nets when I know that I would install my own mosquito net door. I installed the doors. Privately. On my windows, I make sure I have mosquito nets.
Yes, everybody.
In my community, I put used engine oil in the drainage every time to fight mosquitoes. So please, don't tell me what I don't know.
Let's take this call from Joseph. Joseph from Anambra. Good morning, sir.
Oh, sorry, we lost that. Okay. So I was just going to say, the way I think this interventions work is that World Bank may have a list of things that they can do for anybody that needs these funds. So they are not necessarily coming to you to say, come and take this or come and take it by force. We're saying, you know, they have a list and then you apply for it. And there's different, there are a list of things like pre-qualification criteria to make you so that you can qualify for those funds. And if you're able to prove, obviously, World Bank understands the war that we're fighting against malaria, understands that we need mosquito nets. But the ministry will then write to them in paper, what they think they are going to do, how they are going to do it. Because I know that some of these international organizations also vet to make sure that these things are carried out. And remember, it's also a loan, knowing that they're going to get their monies back. And World Bank would have done its job by saying, we have provided this loan and assisted this country towards fighting malaria because this is what we gave them. So really, it's on us when we get these funds. How do we spend it? Do we really spend it the way it's meant to be spent? And then, you know, we have administrations come in. They find out they have loans to pay for. They don't even prosecute those. They don't call those people. They don't probe. How did you use this money? How come I have this paper
and we don't see
results? Why am I paying this money? And anyway.
They do. Nobody has a report of the level of corruption of aids given to third world countries, especially Nigeria, and how it was misused, abused, or diverted than the World Bank.
Unfortunately, we have to end this conversation at this point. Yeah, but I hope that we can follow up and see where this goes. If, you know, the yay, nay, according to you, will follow through on this and stop it, nip it in the bud, let's take a short break. When we come back, we move on to other topics. Stay with us.
Stay tuned. Your view will will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. So on the Women We Love segment today, we have an entrepreneur, economist, and power sector specialist. She has a history of running companies in Nigeria, mainly Oriki, an agro-beauty farm to skin brand that utilizes the best and effective natural ingredients and skin secrets from the richest resource continent in the world, Africa. Welcome with us, Joycey Awushika.
Hello, guys. Glad to be here.
You are pretty.
So
when I saw your CV, I was expecting someone in like
60s.
Fourth floor, ending of fourth floor to fifth floor and sixth floor. You're quite young and you have, run a lot of companies. So help us with the highs and lows for you. Why did you decide to get into entrepreneurship, and what are some of the challenges you faced so far?
Thank you so much, ladies. It's a pleasure to be here today. Well, for me, entrepreneurship is one of the greatest ways to make an impact. I've been opportune to work in a career. I've been opportune to work in the government, and I've also been opportune to build a business. And to me, there's no greater way than making an impact. I'm making an impact on so many levels, If we talk about the company that I run now, Oriki, the people that we're employing, first and foremost, the opportunities we're giving them, right, to be able to grow, build careers, to be able to get skills, skill acquisition. And then on top of that, the farmers we work with when it comes to sourcing our natural ingredients for the products, and then just the ability to put Africa on the map as well, right? So we're building a brand that will spread its tentacles and be able to show that it's proudly Nigerian in other parts of the world. I can't really think of a better opportunity to make impact. So that's...
someone listening to you, you obviously have a non-Nigerian accent. And usually a lot of Nigerians, young people, just want to leave Nigeria and go to America or Europe because they feel that's where you make it. But to have your accent means you must have grown up there, spent time there, and yet you decided to come to Nigeria and run a business in spite of all that we hear, all the negative stories we hear about, young people running businesses or even getting jobs. Why did you make that move?
For me, it's pretty simple. I was born and raised in the U.S., and I always had a passion for Nigeria. My parents will tell you they don't know where it came from, but I consider it to be just divine, right? I had this passion, and I think it has a lot to do with the fact that I'm a problem solver. Where can I make more impact? Where can I add more value? And it's one thing to be working in an industry or an organization where you just feel like you're another number. It's another thing to be able to look on the other side and say, how can the work that I do be meaningful? How can I contribute in a lasting way? So I moved to Nigeria, and I never turned back. It became my love in so many different ways, right? It became a place. And I love that question you asked because people ask me that all the time. They say, why would you come here when we're all trying to go there? I no longer try to convince people to stay or to, because everyone has their own path. But I will say this. What will posterity judge me for in the future? What will legacy say about me? And I want them to be able to say, she came here to her land, where she's from. She built something.
She saw and she conquered.
She conquered. I put that in a quote recently in an interview I had. She saw, she conquered, and she was able to leave a lasting legacy. Let them say that one of the best companies in Africa came out of Nigeria. Let them say that she has products that are sourced around the world from Nigeria. That to me is more than living in the U.S. and working in a company that I'll just be another number.
So I'm listening to you and I'm thinking you want to build, you have a dream to build Oriki or maybe any other business that you have to, to outlive you.
Yes.
But that's not the average Nigerian. We all survive you. So
we need to shop you.
So we need to shop. It's belle first, belle worry, I call that idea. But what exactly would you say gives you a security that, that makes you think, let me not worry about all of this now, and let me worry about what will outlive me?
It's, for me, it's my faith. Let me not lie. We're all fighting every day. We know that here. In 2020, I kept talking about how do we thrive and not just survive in this country. I don't think our topics today is supposed to talk about the government, so I won't get into how we all know we're fighting and we've all created our own security and government for ourselves. But for me, it's my faith, right? I believe in something greater. I know that what my faith tells me is that God clothes the sparrows. He feeds the birds.
Yes.
So if he does that, how much more me, a human that he took so much time to create, you know, and even as a woman, he took even extra time to create me. Do you understand? Women we love, right? It's an extra work.
Love you.
So I'm not going to worry so much about that. And let me not downplay it. Yes, I have I have 2 children. I have my daily fears and things that I think about, and I sometimes wonder if I should just be kind of pitching my tent. But no, I'm focused. I'm very, very focused, and I know that it's those who take the greater risk that will get the greater reward.
Sister, you know, when it comes to entrepreneurship, we hear you people, you sound so motivational, and all of us, we now put our head. When we get there, we realize that, to run a business in Nigeria, you need to have 2 heads, 4 double legs, and everything has to just be double, because you will face the challenges with the systems, the policies, the inflation. And I asked you initially, what are some of the challenges you have faced running a business in Nigeria? Please help us, so that when we are getting into this sort of thing, we understand that the tough times will come, but perseverance will keep us.
First of all, I think that if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. So first and foremost, even though we live in a country that anything can happen, that plan is critical. What's your strategy? What is your long-term strategy? Last year, nobody would have realized that in March we would wake up and hear there's a global pandemic and airports are shutting down. However, before then, I had a plan. I know there will be a time where people may not want to just come into our locations for services. You may want to go out there to people. So I'd already trained and prepared the team, right, for those type of things. So for me, it's all about planning. For me, it's all about planning ahead and also doing what you call market risk, security risk, competitive risk. So someone comes in
taking care of all the risks.
All the risks.
Wow.
You should have a document for it. All the risks. If you don't do it, then you're not in business, to be honest.
Let's take a breather now. When we come back, the conversation continues. Stay with us.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Welcome back. Miriam had a question?
Yes. So there's, of course, when you're reading about you, there's something you say about helping small and medium enterprises to scale up. What does that involve in Nigeria? Because a lot of Nigerian businesses are really at a subsistent level. You know, we're just struggling day to day to see how it, you know, just feeds us for the day. But how do we scale up? What are also the opportunities in Nigeria that maybe Nigerians are not aware of, that they can take advantage of?
Fantastic question, Miriam. You know, I love the Nigerian spirit. We're so relentless. Nigerians are so determined, and everybody wants to have a business. Even those of us working in careers, we usually have a side hustle or a business we're doing. But what I consistently see is the passion, but not the structure. So in order for you to run a successful business, you need to create a structure that would basically allow the business to be sustainable, you know? And that is where my passion comes in. You know, besides Ariki, I run a consultancy that helps SMEs and small business owners to put structures in place. Now, what does that mean? Everybody talks structure, but it's systems, it's processes. It involves the right people and the right structures. How are you able to be free, for example, as an entrepreneur from the office and not be so focused on operations? Let's say you have a big opportunity, you want to grow, you want to scale, but you're so tied in the day-to-day because your team just doesn't, they don't know what they're doing.
You do everything yourself.
How do you fix that they don't know what they're doing? There's ways. It's SOPs, it's structural documents, it's creating key performance indicators. And I've seen how it's revolutionized my business. I'm not even involved in operations. With all the locations we have, I'm not even there, you know, and that's because of what we put in place. So I find that to be, and you ask, how can people tap into it? You know, one of the ways, and I really hope to see this take more prevalence in Nigeria, is through franchising. You know, so many of us want to, you see a business like a fashion business that has done so well, and you want to do Me Too, Like, or you see a skincare business or a spa, and you want to just do the business as well, but you don't know the execution. Why don't you go to a franchise that has already documented? They've documented the execution from A to Z. They've created every manual you need to survive and thrive. But guess what? We don't see it prevalent in Nigeria.
But we
probably can name one or two.
If you have the name, I can have my own name now. If you
tell us in church, we're all the head,
why can't
nobody
you
in
name
detail.
That's the problem.
I can cook better than your lobby.
That's the problem. Those are the challenges we face. But everybody is, I mean, we're all kings, we're all heads, but not everybody is going to do the work to create a winning business. You can tap into it. We also
So you're
learn
talking
to tap
collaboration here.
Yes, franchising is a part. Partnerships is a part. Collaborating is a part of franchising, right? Right.
It's not like you're stealing somebody's idea.
No.
Yeah, because some people won't give you that franchise free.
Yeah, that's
Some people make it seem like you want to come and steal all the work.
They don't understand.
They don't understand
It has to make sense, right, for both parties. You want to grow my business. You want to open a location in a place that I can't go to. And I've done all the documentation for you. Why won't I give it to you? After I vetted you, though. After I know that you have the qualities it takes, that you're in this legal document side, money is paid. Why won't I give you?
So if a business wants help, how expensive? You know, when you're starting this business, you're gathering all the little funds. It's not like we go to a bank and get a loan. You know, we help, our friends help us, our partners help us, and we're gathering. And when you talk about consultancy, it seems like, I can't even afford to pay that for now. How affordable is it for a business to come to you that you can help them? How affordable?
It's extremely affordable. It's my passion to see businesses win. And for me, I even took it a step further. You can come and speak to me and work with me directly, but we've also created every template you need for a token price. So you can actually say, okay, I may not be able to sit in for the one-on-one consultancy, do the company audit, but I'll get these 3 templates at a token price, you know?
That you can study on your own.
And then you use the templates in your company, empower your team members, and you make it work.
Also, me, I want to get a franchise with Oriki.
Okay.
I love it. Let's talk after this.
That will make 2 of us.
Thank you for being on the show with us. We totally enjoyed the conversation. I wish we could keep you for a longer time. But you say you have 2
kids. We need to talk about your skin, your
skin, your
Let's just see
sister.
Yes.
Sister. Let's still have it.
Okay.
All right. That's all we can take on this segment. We've been talking to Joyce C. Awoshika. And if you know, I hope you've learned something anyway.
Yes.
When we come back, we move on to other topics. Stay with us.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. The subject of money is a huge topic that affects every individual and family. On the show today, we have Dr. Olumide Emmanuel to discuss the common money mistakes to avoid as individuals, families, and even entrepreneurs. Welcome to the show, sir.
Yes, thank you for having me. It's nice to be here live and direct.
Live and direct.
With the ladies of your view. Our people are students in the School of Money.
We are.
So you have to
Constantly.
read. I've brought another set of books today. You have to read and read and read because that's part of the mistake that we have to deal with.
So I've been studying about money and I've read a couple of books. And one of the issues that a lot of people struggle with is how to keep their money. So you know how to make the money, but then how do you keep it away from things that would naturally eat it? Let me not use relatives. Let it not look like you don't want to send money to them. But how do you make that money and protect it so that you're giving less than you're making and not giving more than you're making?
Well, basically, when it comes to wealth creation, you make, you manage, and you multiply. So you must know how to make money.
Yes.
And to know how to make money, you must also know how not to make money. Yeah, because if you make money in the wrong way, you're going to end up losing it. So how not to make money? You don't make money by stealing. You don't make money by begging. You don't make money by fraud. You don't make money by marriage. To say, I want to marry into money.
We don't talk enough about this thing.
You don't make money into marriage because I always tell people, a lot of women, unfortunately, sometimes don't take their financial life serious. They just think once I've married a rich man.
My case is settled.
Wealth is not sexually transmitted. So that you are married to a rich man does not make you a rich woman. That's why a lot of people, by the time their spouse now dies or it does not have a job anymore or crisis happen, they get into trouble and their children suffer.
Rewind, sir. So your money is your money. Your money is not our money.
Leave that one. You see, all this you say, your money is our money, my money is my money, all this kind of stuff. Yes, when you come into a marriage relationship, the two has become one. And that two becoming one is joint knowledge, joint decision, joint planning. Not necessarily joint account if it doesn't work for you. Because you need to know what works for you. So it's joint knowledge. I must know what you have. You must know what I have. There shouldn't be any secret anywhere.
I love this.
Then there should also be joint planning. And joint decision making.
Wow.
And once you understand that, it will
Let's go back to what you just said. Because I was saying this to a couple of women and it sounded strange to them. Marriage is not economic empowerment.
No, it's not. It's not.
So let's agree, and I hope women are watching before they come and say, because it's a man that said it, that, you know, it is not. And it is because go and check it anywhere. Some women marry and every day you come and you say, oh, Fumilowo. If I say, why have you not done it? That did not give me money. I was like, is this supposed to give you money? You know, so why did you...
I don't understand, because I tell a lot of young people, okay, you went to school, I went to school. You graduated 7 years ago, I graduated 7 years ago. You have BSc, I have BSc. You started working 6 years ago, I started working 6 years ago. I meet you 6 years later as a single man. You are asking me, do you have a house? Do you have a car? Why you no get? We have both been working for 6 years. What have you been doing with your own money for the past 6 years? Then when I now meet you, I should now carry all your responsibilities. Marriage is we love each other and want to build a life together. And everybody should come in with 100, not 50-50.
Not 50-50.
You come in with 100% commitment to do all you can. The other person comes with 100% commitment to do all they can. And when you come into marriage, it doesn't matter whether the man is rich or not. For your own personal fulfillment, you were not created for marriage. That's not your marriage. Is not your destiny. It is not that the creator said, "Let me send her go and marry." That's not your destiny. That's just one of the things that you require to continue to fulfill destiny. And once you understand that, because I keep wondering, on one side, you want the man to do everything for you. You are a liability. On the other side, you are talking woman empowerment. Who put you in bondage?
You can't mix it.
You want to be liberated from who? Nobody stops you from making your own money. Today, now, even if you are a full-time housewife with wisdom, you can make money online. You can make money from home. You can do a lot of stuff. So I believe very strongly that once people understand that making money is the first level, but you need to know how not to make money. Which is some of the things I've said, including don't wait for inheritance. So you want your father to die before you make money and all this stuff. Any money you did not work for, any money you didn't work for, you don't have the wisdom to manage it. And if you go online now, you find out that many lottery winners, within the first 12 months to 24 months, the money is gone. Because you grow. So if you jump up, you will come down. If you grow up, you will stay up.
Rewind, sir. Any money you didn't work for.
Any money you did not work for, you don't have the wisdom to manage it.
I agree.
Do you understand? That's why when I tell people, no matter what, let your spouse, your wife work. When a woman is not working to earn money, she won't know how difficult it is to get money. So when she says, I need this, you give her 100,000, I still need 100,000. Have you gathered 100,000 yourself? Your own labor, I think, 100,000. So sometimes, and unfortunately, people don't discuss these things because it's a tough issue in marriage. When we talk about marriage, the things that cause, because apart from my major stuff is relationship, finance, and leadership. So that's my 3 major areas. And when we talk about marriage, a lot of people don't realize that the top 3 causes of marital problem is communication, sex, and money. And people don't want to talk about that money issue.
It's a difficult conversation.
You don't want to talk about that money issue because the way a lady's mind works is different from the way a man's mind works. And when we come into a relationship and we understand that, look, I love you, I'm ready to do everything for you, but let's face reality. And that's why I tell men, always make sure you do full disclosure. Let your wife know this is all we have, so that you will know whether you have a wife or a knife.
A knife.
Because if my wife knows my salary is $750, I didn't have this my payslip, and you are asking me for bone straight, you are asking me to change your car, then I begin to ask, hey, you know your bone straight, your destiny no straight. You want bone straight. You want bag and shoe to match, whereas your destiny is not matching your bank account. You have only 2 legs. You want to buy shoe like another. I love shoes. I love shoes. If you love shoes, buy shoe, produce shoe, manufacture shoe, sell shoe, market shoe, design shoe. So if a man is earning $750 and you are asking him to buy you a brand new car, then you are a thief or you are a criminal. But if the man does not let you know how much he earns, women like children think that their father is the most powerful. So women will think, my husband get money, he gets something where they are. So for me now, all our bank account, my wife has the token, has the code. If I say, what's the code for that one? So if you now see what is there, and you are demanding for what is greater than that, you will explain.
I'm returning token and code.
Whoa, this is awesome.
I think that's why they're not doing. I'm returning everything. I don't want to make it.
But before you're coming, I think this is what it was used for me personally. Because I remember when I started my life, and then I'll present bill. I want this, I want that, I want that. The guy just keeps saying, see it. Share it. Give me my transport fare. No, that's it. Anything you want to do with it,
do with it. You will now realize that.
So I had sense quickly. And wow.
Yes. So, the topic today was really to understand some costly mistakes that we should not make. But I'm thinking we should talk about how not to make money. Because it's really important. You have started with the marriage one because a lot of people have based their happiness on finding that man that can take them out of poverty. And then they find themselves in that marriage and they're still not happy. And now you're explaining to us that if you want to be rich and if you want to have money and be happy, it's not necessarily a man that can do that. What other relationship mistakes are we making? Looking at it like it is something that would get us money apart from marriage. You
see, like I also said, you don't make money by begging. We have all this breadwinner syndrome. As if somebody is winning bread, what do you do? Your hand break. Can't you start your own bakery? Somebody is a breadwinner. And then because of this entitlement mentality, because we have this entitlement that anybody that has money is because of us. Even for us, it's because of us that God is blessing people like you. So those kind of so that he can bless us people.
What is family for everybody?
Be not to help each other. So many of this entitlement mentality. You have a rich man. Years ago, a man walked into our bookstore, and then he was just complaining. And because of what I also do, I also happen to be a pastor. So I'm like, maybe this guy needs counseling or help to pray. So I said, sorry, are you okay? He said, I just came from school. This is my uncle, these rich people. So I'm like, any problem? He said, I came to see him, and I told him I needed money. I asked for 64,000. He just gave me 30,000. I said, did he know you were coming? He said, no. Did you tell him you needed money before you came? You just came to somebody's house on Friday, and you are going back on Monday. I said, I can only do 30. I said, are your parents? They say, my parents are alive, but they don't have money. He's the richest man in our family. He's not supposed to take care of all of us. I say, whoa. You come into a man's house on Friday night. He's not aware you were coming. He said, sorry, we need, and he gave you 30, and now he's a bad man. Those are part of the entitlement mentality. So and that's why you find out that when people, it's part of the reason why we have a problem in Nigeria. You say politicians are corrupt. Then your cousin becomes a governor. All of you, how much is his salary?
But so we're also enablers then. So if you're the rich one, you're also enabling that
you're enabling them. You're now saying, okay, so the guy will have to steal to settle all of you because he wants to meet us. So entitlement mentality, thinking that because somebody has money, we're all friends, and I'm beginning to do well, my business is moving there because of that. When we all go out, okay, well, let's go to Dubai. I should pick B for all of you. It doesn't work like that. It doesn't work like that. I should be able to do what I want to do because I feel like doing, not because I'm under pressure or I'm being blackmailed. So all those kind of things causes trouble. And that's why you find out that when people come to a level, they start separating themselves. They say, because you don't get money now. It's not because you don't get money. It's because there is a mindset you have when you begin to rise. And if you don't have money and you don't have that kind of mindset, you're going to slow me down or you're going to begin to make me feel uncomfortable around you because there are some conversations I can't have. I want to pay for a flat in Lekki. It's 35 million, I've paid 20, I'm paying the balance of 15 small. I can't talk to you about that because you are telling me, when I asked you for 60,000,
you did not give me, and now you're spending millions.
As if you are the one that will plan my future for me. What's going to happen with my children? School fees, look at what's happening with dollars. So if you are thinking, how my children to have a better life, you want to send them abroad, you are not going to use Naira to do that. Just 6 years ago, Naira was 150, 170. Now it's 570. What will happen in the next 10 years when our children that are young now will now be going to America, maybe it's 5,000 to $1. And then you want to pay school fees of 30,000. So I'm supposed to plan now for that. So I can't say because you're my friend, you're my family, I will now stop that. That's why it's called extended family. So anything that is not nuclear is extended. Now waiting rich, now with the share.
Okay, Dr. Olumide, there's an impression you give family. Because just yesterday, me and my sister-in-law were on this topic. Our fathers lived this life. There's an impression that you give family that makes them think, I don't need to do anything. I just need to bring my problem, you solve it. There was a joke that they used to laugh about within my family about my uncle telling a woman, you know my brother, he lives in Lagos. He wants to marry the woman. My brother lives in Lagos. Did you see that house? My brother has house. My aunt, the woman agreed to marry him.
Based on brother.
So what impression do you give family? How do you give them the impression that you're still family, but that their burden is not your own and you're not killing anyone?
That's why we need to have that discussion. In 1998, my own story started in 98. I got married in 1997 and discovered that that was one of the greatest mistakes of my life. The marriage was not the mistake. Getting married poor was the mistake. I fell into the trap of, I love you the way you are. I love you the way you are. And I suddenly realized that there's no romance without finance.
Hi.
I love you the way you are does not mean I love you to remain the way you are. When a woman tells you, when a woman tells you I love you the way you are, she has an unconscious diary that if I suffer with this guy, please within 3 to 5 years. If after 3 to 5 years nothing changes, our whole story will change. And then you start hearing that cannot take care of his house. He's worse than an infidel. Are you a man? Then you would now enter depression.
Thank you.
So in 1998, when I began to realize that I became depressed, I said, I want to find out the way out. And when I found out what it takes to become rich and wealthy, the first thing I did was to call a family meeting.
Hold your thoughts, sir. Let's take a short break. When we come back, you continue.
I feel like clapping, like just a round of applause.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Welcome back. You were giving us an analogy.
Yeah, so the first thing I did was to call a family meeting. I'm the firstborn in my family. And you have all this firstborn bondage. In other clan, we call it the black tax. So you are the first, you should take care of every other person. And then they hand over people to you, people I didn't give birth to. So I called the family meeting, father, mother, and all my siblings. And I said, look, I've just realized that the way out of poverty is not all this fasting, prayer, and all this religion. Because religion is more dangerous than the devil. So we need to understand that to create wealth.
Saying that?
Religion is more, I don't believe in religion. I actually hate religion. Religion has caused more trouble in this world than a Christianity is not a religion, it's a relationship, it's a way of life. And it should be humanity at work, love at work, not all this stuff that we have turned it to. So I told her, I said, look, father, mother, everyone, I've learned this. So number one, daddy, mommy, these are your children, they are not my children. I am telling you today, they are not my responsibility. So let them plan. And all of you, don't look at me as firstborn breadwinner. What I have learned, I'm going to be doing a 4-day seminar. All of you must be there to come and learn what I've learned. We are all poor now. I want to start practicing it. So that when it begins to blow, you won't say, you didn't tell you. Number one. Then you parents, I said, honor is not a levy. Because there's also this, you are not taking care of your father. You have all this emotional blank. Even though this breast where you suck, what's all that? The Bible says, honor your father and mother. The same honor, it says, honor the Lord with your substance. It's not a levy. It's something you do out of honor. It's not a tax. So I say, parents, honor is not a levy. You gave birth to me, I didn't give birth to you. The Bible even actually says that it is the parents that lay off for the children, not the children that lay off for the parents. So you people should release me to go and pursue this thing. And wonderful parents, wonderful, everybody understood. And I started that journey. Between 2008 and 1998 and 2001, I went on the journey and my story changed. When my story changed, I returned in 2001. And so between then and now, my parents have been on salary every month. I said, daddy, mommy, finally. So you people allowed me to be able to do this, so it was easier because person when they carry, they carry person. If you are carrying a 50 kg cement, you can't run as fast as someone that has no load. You people allowed me to run. So in 4 years, things have changed. And what I did, which you need to learn again, is I put a check for 1 year in one envelope for my dad, another one for my mom. Don't give your parents money the same way.
No, we don't.
Give them separately. Because when you go, it will cost trouble. And I bought them a brand new car. Between then and now, I bought them maybe 3 or 4 cars in the last whatever year. So I say from today till you die, what you eat is no more a problem. But it's not a levy. Do you understand?
Because they allowed
you to grow. So we need to understand, because those are how the things. Because parents give birth to children they can't train. Every year, your wife, they get belay as if you are trying to win an award. You give birth to children like sardine. Rich people have just 2 children. 3 max, except those that have polygamy. You that is poor man, every year, take it, and if this one don't make her, this one will make her. Just the bomb picking, all of them are looking like that 1 year apart, like Kwashoko. And then we are killing. So poor people create trouble for themselves. Hey. You give birth to children you can take care of. You are looking for male and female. Who told you that? Every male you have, you already have a female waiting to come and marry them. So if you have two female, they are in your house, you have two male being raised in another family that will come and marry them. Add them to your prayer, add them to your planning. If you have two male, you have two female being raised in another family that will come and marry them. Add them to your prayer, add them to your planning. But I want to have boy. Then Abigail, you born 4 girls. Then by the time you are waiting for the boy, when the boy now arrives, he arrives as 1 boy, 1 girl again. You become 5 girls, 1 boy. And then your salary is 70. Your wife is selling bakery or selling church card. And then you say it's one devil in the village. It's one village people troubling you. You are the village people. Most of what we call generational curse in this climate is not a curse, it's generational ignorance. It's generational lack of planning. Your grandfather worked in Nigerian Railway. Your father worked in Nigerian Airways. Now you are in NIPOS. In what way is that a generational curse? It's a generational choice. You all chose to be civil servants. You chose that nobody will be an entrepreneur. Your grandfather didn't build a house, you didn't build. Now, you are now saying, it's not, no, it's not. Have you noticed that all over this Lagos, illiterate are the landlord, educated ones are the tenants?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You went to school, you think you are doing big boy, big girl, you go, they buy car, 7 million, they rent house of 2.5 billion, the landlord is an illiterate. Trips. And they are calling you Oga tenants.
Please, sir, I want to take you somewhere. Well, first, your story reminded me of when, as a teenager, my younger brother, many years between us, and my mom would say for me to teach him his homework. And he would not want to listen. He would be screaming, this is child abuse. And I went to go and meet my mom. I said, see, he better learn his school book now because I'm not going to grow up. I'll be paying anybody any money then. You know, I don't know how it came to be, but I don't felt, no, better sort yourselves out now quickly because I'm not going to be sorting you out later. But, you know, a few days ago, we discussed this story about a pastor lady who talked about people who are rich should have only rich friends. You know, I'm just summarizing it, yes, paraphrasing it. So you should have only rich friends. You cannot be, or else it, almost like it will, those who are not rich will drag you down. And the thought generally was like, no, you need all kinds of people to be friends with. Was she right or were we wrong?
Okay, now, I don't know why you brought that up, but I think that's why you brought it up. That message was actually preached in my church.
Oh!
Yeah, just 2 weeks ago. Oh. So if you go online, you see my name there. I was the one who was saying, Dr. Olumide, because that message was preached in my church.
Okay.
And BC said exactly what was the right thing. Okay. She said, we don't have the full message. So maybe we picked it out of context. But you know the way social media works, they push all kinds of stuff out of context. Now, she was talking about a lot of things. And in what she was saying, she was talking about being intentional about the way you live your life, about the fact that in life, your associations affect you. The kind of people you move with affect you. If you have tried to help people, they are not willing to be helped, staying there will affect you. And then she went on and on for that. So if you look at the entire message, then you'll be able to understand the context within which she was speaking. Then you'll be able to see, because I was there, I was sitting there, it was in my church. And the message was preached. So when he went by, she called me and said, Pastor, we are blowing there, we are leading. I said, look, I don't do social media, so I don't really know. He said, this thing that I said, look, man of God, we have been in this thing now. Let them say whatever they want to say. Just make sure that you are true to yourself, and those that are there understand. Because I now went to watch it, and I'm like, oh, no, this is not it. I know that's not the way to. They've cut something. Even the one I said, they said that I said that if they don't pay the pastor money, that they are doing baby dedication. And then you will now put 500 naira in the envelope for baby dedication, and you didn't give your pastor more than that. But you use 500,000 for naming ceremony, and you now use 500 naira for offering. The 500 you use for naming ceremony, are you not supposed to give your pastor? That's why the children turn out wrong.
Okay, but what were you trying to
say? So they were now, because the theme of the conference was Kingdom Wealth Conference. Okay. My own series was Understanding Kingdom Wealth. That kingdom wealth is a wealth that has its source in God, and the kingdom has its purpose. And in the kingdom wealth is not acquired, it is entrusted. Okay. So God must trust you to entrust wealth to you. And for that to happen, we now started listing different things that people need to understand. And one of the things they need to understand is that when you come into the kingdom, there are kingdom covenant obligations. You cannot go to London and say, I don't believe in pounds.
Okay.
You must spend pounds. You can't go to London and say, I don't believe in driving on the left side of the road. You must align. So when you come into the kingdom, there are things that have been aligned in the kingdom. So we now listed 10 covenant obligations that people need to live by.
Okay.
First fruits, tithe, offering, welfare, honoring the less privileged, honoring your parents, and honoring. So it is in listing all those. We now started explaining.
For people who have kingdom wealth.
Kingdom wealth. So you want kingdom, because there are 2 ways to make money. You either do it Babylon way or covenant way. Now, you are either in the secret court or you are in the secret place. It's your choice.
Hey, you cannot be in between.
You can't be in between. You can't be. That's why I say a lot of people. That's why I say religion is killing people. You see, people are so religious, but they are not even in the secret place. You are not in secret court.
We're in the
you
free
are absent.
place.
Secret place. You are absent, and you are wondering. People don't know that money is spiritual. Money is a spirit. Money has a soul. Money lives in the body. That currency in your hand is not money. That's ordinary paper. It's legal tender. If we change it today, it ceases to be money. So that's the body of money. The spirit of money is mammon. The soul of money is the value that money has in the marketplace. Okay. So that's why one currency will be higher than the other currency in the marketplace, depending on your relationship with mammon. So many people don't realize that if you are going to become wealthy, you have to choose your track. There is nobody on earth that can succeed without giving. She's here. Yeah. There is Sadak, whatever all kinds of. They too have their own stuff that you have to give. You have to take care of the less people. Yeah. So there are a lot of stuff. Nobody can ever become rich without giving. But the problem we have is people are not well taught, and then we have a lot of charlatans, jobless people, visionless people that now think that because of the poverty situation in Africa, they can now use that to deceive people. Because many of these pastors you see, their message is local. Once they cross border, they don't get message. Once you reach Canada, all this useless message will not work. So
when you were talking about wealth and care for parents, I wanted to quickly draw the care for parents line. Yeah. So in my faith, for instance, since you've referred to it, care for parents is not actually money. It's time and actual care. So you can't have parents aging, and because you want to go and make money, and it's important to have money, you leave that parent without a structure of care. So what exactly is wealth? If time is of value, if availability is of value, is only riches.
In the book I gave you guys, The School of Money, because all these things have been answered. Now, when we talk about wealth, there's a difference between wealth and riches. Riches is monetary. Wealth is all-inclusive.
Yes.
So when you talk about wealth, health is wealth. Relationship is wealth. Time is wealth. Skill is wealth. So when you talk about wealth, it's more than just money. So you can be rich and you are not wealthy. Or you cannot be wealthy and not be rich. So once you understand the holistic aspect to wealth, you will not spend all your time pursuing money and losing your health and your time, only to now try to use the money to buy back your health.
Yes.
So when people understand true wealth, you know that, look, I may not have the money to give my parents right now just to honor them, but whatever I have, if it's 2,000 recharge card every month, happy new month, mommy, stay connected. And then you call them. Sometimes when people get old, because what you sow, you will reap.
Yes.
When people get older, they just need someone to be there. How are you doing, ma? Hope you're okay. And then you go there, spend time with them. That's why those that are in the foreign countries that know they do not have the time to be able to do that, they have created a structure, nursing home, old people's home, where they pay for it, and then somebody gives them the care that they need. Yes. And we need to understand that as the world is moving right now, those things need to begin to happen even in our climate also. So people should understand. That's why I say it's not a levy. Because people say, I don't have money, I have money. You don't have money, you don't have time. You don't have money, you don't have good words, you don't have phone call. It doesn't work like that, because what you are sowing today, you will reap. The way you take care of your parents or the way you don't take care of them, whether you like it or not, life, karma, life will always, roll back. So, yeah.
Thank you so much, Dr. Emmanuel.
We don't want you to go.
We wish you can extend another.
I will come again. We have not even done money mistake. We don't even started. We went from one, so no problem. We will come again.
Thank you so much. And thank
I've told the people once in a month, let's be doing this thing. Once a month. Let's just be helping people. Yeah.
Let's help
so that we'll just be helping people get information. And then,
thank you so
because this country is really challenging and we need wisdom to navigate the struggles of our nation.
God bless you, sir, for your thoughts this morning. Thank you so much. That's all we can take for today. Join us again tomorrow. Bye-bye now.